Greetings from Cape Coral, Florida. And I was driving down the road today on my way down to Cape Coral where I normally go. That's the location of the VA clinic. More times than not, if I'm going to the Cape, as they call it down here, I'm usually going to the VA clinic, which is just a beautiful, beautiful facility. And as I was coming down here, I found myself thinking that one of the challenges about being a YouTube vlogger is coming up with just interesting stuff to vlog about, you know. I mean, being able to take, I would think that a good YouTube vlogger, and I'm not saying that I am one, mind you, but I would say that a good vlogger is somebody that can take just the simplest thing in life, and do a video about it and make it somewhat interesting. So as I was driving down here today, I found myself that I got delayed. I got down to the VA clinic only to find out that I'm going to have to wait about 2 hours to go in and have my hearing aids checked out. And so I thought, well, how am I going to kill time? Because the Cape is about 35 minutes from my home. And I thought, how am I going to kill time? And I thought, I know, I'll get a haircut. I'll go and I'll get a haircut. So I searched for a barber shop in the Cape on Google. And it took me to this wonderful barber shop. The name of it forsakes me. And oftentimes I will often go to like a Supercuts or something like that. But today I decided to go to a real barber. So I went into this barber shop, and it was just a beautiful barber shop with about 8 chairs, and it was just a nice place to get a haircut. And as I walked in, they were all speaking in Spanish. You know, all the guys working there and a few of the other people there to get their haircuts, they're all in Spanish, talking in Spanish. And I pretty much knew the answer to the question, but when the gentleman was finished cutting my hair and I was settling up with him, I asked him, I said, where are you from? You know, pretty much expecting to hear Cuba. So just as I had thought, you know, they say you should never ask a question you know the answer to. But anyway, his answer was in fact Cuba. He was from Cuba. So for whatever reason, I found myself thinking to ask them. I thought, you know what? I'm going to go have a Cuban lunch. Before I go back to the VA clinic, I want to go have a Cuban lunch. I had the most wonderful girlfriend named Mercedes, and Mercedes actually worked here in the Cape. And sometimes I'd come down and we'd go to lunch together, and she'd take me to a Cuban restaurant. But anyway, so I asked the barbers, long story short, I said, is there a good Cuban restaurant around here? And his eyes lit up and he said, oh yeah, go to the restaurant, which is called Cuba Havana, or Havana, Cuba, or something like that. He said prices are low and the food is really, really good. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to do a video going to lunch here at the Cape and bring you along and do go to a Cuban restaurant and bring you along. Now, you know, the interesting thing about my experience with Cuban cuisine is that more times than not, it's beans and rice. It didn't matter, you know, whether when I was dating Mercedes, it didn't matter whether I'd go to a birthday party, go to a July 4th party, you know, anything like that. It just wouldn't matter. It was always beans and rice and pork. Beans, rice, and pork. Those were the staples of a Cuban meal. But anyway, so here we are. I'm going to bring you along and just do a short video and go get a bite to eat here in it's called Havana, Cuba, here in Cape Coral. Let's go inside and get a bite to eat. And this would be the front of the Havana Cuban restaurant here in the Cape. Authentic Cuban cuisine. And as I walk up, you know, I thought I would share some of the pictures on the front of the building here. And it looks like they serve just about everything: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You see, there's their breakfast right there. Well, I see a pizza too. I don't know that would be breakfast, but there's some of the cuisine that they would serve. And then here is some other stuff. So I'll go inside and tell them that I want something really, really authentic. Let's go on inside. All right, so I found my way inside, and I think I'm the only gringo in here. When they said authentic Cuban, I think they literally meant authentic Cuban, but I didn't say, there was no sign that said no gringos allowed. So I think that I'm okay, but I'm going to grab myself a bite to eat. I'll share the menu with you here in just a moment, but it's a nice place. It's a nice small little place, and we'll see. Let's see what's on the menu. All right, and this would be the menu here at Havana Cuban Restaurant, and just let you see the choices. So of course they've got the items here in both Spanish and English. You can hear the background, the noise. Let's take a look at so these are some of the sandwiches that you can order, and it's not expensive. The gentleman was right. So you can grab yourself everything from a midnight sandwich to an omelet sandwich and what have you. Come down and there's some more choices. I don't know where they get the spaghetti in there. You know, I don't. That's traditional, authentic Cuban. I'm not sure about the pasta, but anyway. And then over here you've got some different. Some different daily dishes. I actually didn't even look at the daily dish. Today is Thursday, so this would have been the dish right here, the yellow rice with chicken. So I asked the gentleman what I should go for, and he said maybe something on this menu here. So what I opted for was the shredded beef, the vaca frita, vaca frita, I don't know. The shredded beef, and for the two side orders, I got what else but the mixed rice and bean, and then he suggested I get this here, the cassava with mojo or something, yuca con mojo. So that's those are the two sides that I got. But anyway, it's a nice little place. You can see here. Look at that, very clean, very, very nice. There you have it. Of course, I've got some nice music playing up there as well. All right, we'll wait for the food. And there you have it, authentic Cuban cuisine. Shredded beef with some rice and beans, and here is my yuca, I think. Look at that. I don't know that I've ever had that before, but it sure looks good. All right, I'm gonna enjoy my meal. I'm sure it's gonna be good. So have a great day.